Hello. Today I'm going to talk about Sun Tzu's ratios. And the word I should use is ratiocination of a strategist. It's not commonly used in the literature of strategy. And what is ratiocination? And that is the process whereby strategists compare himself, his army, and his forces versus the enemy. So you have got, Sun Tzu says, know yourself, know your enemy, 100 battles, 100 victories. Well, so they didn't exactly say 100 victories, but there will not be bad consequences if you had done that. Okay, now what I'm trying to say is that in this current war, or I would say special military operation by the Russian against Ukraine, there are a set of ratios that we can consider, and if you applied it, and what is most surprisingly for me is that to see that the ratios work out by Sun Tzu 2,500 years ago, despite all the changes of technology, using of the drones and tanks and artillery, and it remains valid. And one of the reasons why Russia was confident to attack Ukraine, because the ratios were in conformity with what Sun Tzu had worked out 2,500 years ago. 5 to 1 you can attack, and then if it's 2 to 1, and and so on and so forth, and if it's 0.01 to 1 you retreat. Now if you read the Sun Tzu in original Chinese, and that is where it really matters, a lot of things are missed out because you don't read Sun Tzu in the original. Right, and I've written an article on this, and I posted it on the Facebook. Now what is most interesting is that Sun Tzu, on account of the fact that all the numbers of injury they are going to suffer and sustain in scaling up the wall to conquer a city. Now here is where Sun Tzu did not give a ratio, right? Maybe he should have, maybe, right? But then it's estimated through U.S. forces in Iraq that it will take at least 100,000 soldiers to clear a city that is defended in whatever we call, it wouldn't be the word scaling up the wall, but it would be fibois, fighting in build-up area. When an army goes into a build-up area and try to clear that of the enemies, 100,000 is required to clear 5,000 of these fighters. And therefore I felt that this ratio is so, it's 20 to 1, that Sun Tzu will not even want to advocate that as a strategy. And of course, it is interesting that we are watching this war or special military operation happening in Ukraine, and what I'm doing is really to validate Sun Tzu, a 2,500 years old work in modern world context. And Sun Tzu's scaling of city wall versus fibois is what I had written on yet another piece. Please feel free to go to my Facebook to look at those articles where I put them down in writing, and so that it's easier for you to comprehend. Thank you.